When so much has changed in the last century, it's crazy to even think about what the next 1,000 years might have in store for the world. From horse-drawn carriages to incredible hyperloops, we've come a long way. Looks like we're only a few discoveries away from living our wildest dreams. The past predictions of the future have shown us some seriously big hits, and that too in the course of less than a century. It's hardly a shocker that we're now left pondering what the next 1,000 years hold. The horizon of possibilities is endless, and in today's video, we're exploring just that. We'll play it safe by looking at the bright and not so bright possibilities the next millennium may bring. So let's jump right in. Think about it. Gazing further down the timeline, what would it be like to live 100 decades from now? Would life be anything like it is today? Well, let's be dead honest here. Crystal ball gazing into the future is next to impossible, especially with the crazy pace of the world we're living in. But hey, we've got way more tricks up our sleeves to make spot-on guesses than our predecessors. While people don't really mind dedicating their lives to chasing answers, this video might show you just what this crazy road leads to. So let's start with a big one. Life beyond the Earth. Goes without saying, the distant future holds secrets we can't even fathom. One bold discovery and humans could be overpopulating other planets just as much as Earth. Exactly, we're that close to becoming an interplanetary species. NASA and SpaceX are already setting their sights on landing humans on Mars by the 2030s. Fast forward to 3023, and we might have thriving colonies in the entire space and beyond. But don't get too carried away, because just like the possibilities, there are a million challenges lying ahead too. The biggest challenge is the super thin and unwelcoming atmosphere of Mars. Sure, 1,000 years may look like a lot of time, but that's probably just not enough to create a breathable environment on Mars. Terraforming the whole planet is no joke, right? Even if we were to begin the process way before 3023, the first Martians would still be suited up and living indoors for generations. But then there's another possibility right here. Humans have a pretty impressive track record of innovation, so we never know the extraordinary breakthroughs that await. Who knows? The scientists might stumble upon faster terraforming methods, or perhaps even develop huge self-sustaining biodomes to help us stroll freely through Mars. Imagine a future where humans live like cosmic nomads. That doesn't quite look like a far-fetched dream anymore. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would we evacuate Earth in the first place? Well, because it's only a matter of time before something really bad happens, like a catastrophe wiping us out. Let's say a giant asteroid finds its way to Earth. It's literally game over for humans. But if we've become a spacefaring bunch by then, we've got a better shot at survival. While there's so much left to do, we're still working on Mars, thankfully. And then some clever scientists might as well turn to the next neighbor, Venus, and turn it into a super comfortable place to live. Some decades from now, we could have thriving colonies on both planets. Because let's not forget, the more places we settle in space, the better our chances of keeping the human story going. And the future looks pretty promising, with a few possibilities waiting right here on Earth. Earth's future at stake. Speaking of Earth, things don't seem to be going too well for us right now. So much so that the end literally wouldn't come as a surprise to us. We're dumping trash in our oceans, filling the sky with harmful stuff, wiping out hundreds of plant and animal species, and even wrecking the ozone layer, all at once. If we don't change our ways soon, we're only inviting a real-life disaster. Runaway climate change could bring apocalyptic-level natural disasters that we cannot even imagine. And you know the worst part? We're seeing some of these disasters already. Think of those wildfires that rage out of control, sea levels that just keep on rising, and ice caps melting away. They're all like wake-up calls from nature to get our act together before it's too late, and life on Earth becomes unsustainable. However, let's not lose hope yet, because we can still turn things around. All it takes is turning to green technology, and of course, ditching the overconsumption. Let's not sugarcoat it. We're burning through fossil fuels like there's no tomorrow. And if we keep it up, we'll run out in less than 110 years. That's a much bigger problem than we think, mainly because we need fossil fuels for literally everything now. Now is the high time to invest in alternative energy sources before we hit rock bottom. Otherwise, our entire civilization is in big trouble already. Transhumanism. If we're able to fight off the climate threat, we can turn to technologies where recent advancements are making waves every single day. Think about it. A world where people team up with machines to make lives better than ever before. I know it sounds unrealistic, but by 2060, computers might just be as efficient as us, or perhaps even better. And if things really work out for us, we might as well be part humans, part machines. If we were to tell you the craziest part, body hackers are putting devices inside their bodies to do awesome things like unlocking doors with a hand swipe or listening to music without headphones. Now imagine fast forwarding 1,000 years into the future. You'd likely be wearing glasses that show you stuff, downloading knowledge directly into your brain, and swapping out damaged body parts with high-tech machines. This could make our lives longer, and who knows, we might even be able to fight death. Unforeseen consequences of technology. But good things don't come easy, do they? So is the case with relying on this brain-enhancing technology. The first big consequence is the security risk. If we plug our brains into technology, that might be a free pass for hackers to sneak in, mess with our brains, and even control our bodies. If we sneak out of the trap, our bodies could act up and reject these artificial parts, which could mean some serious health issues. Even if we were to have no problems, things wouldn't be half as easy as they seem. No issues would mean living longer. And if we were to think of it, that's just the worst possible way to overcrowd the earth. And quite obviously, there's the risk of becoming couch potatoes. We could have everything we need in a virtual world and never have to leave home. This way, we'd only end up with a society of folks who won't interact with one another. But these fears would crop up every time a new technology comes into action. This means that no matter what, the future will have its quirks, but we'll need to keep our eyes wide open. Superhuman genes. In labs today, scientists are working on something that's just as incredible as it gets. It's called CRISPR, a gene editing technique that might change how we think about being healthy and strong. It's all about giving our bodies a little upgrade. This way, humans could have any trait they'd like. Imagine having genes for super strong bones, higher pain tolerance, or even a lower risk of cancer. Yep, that's just what the future might hold for us. But hey, that's just the beginning of what the next 1,000 years might do to humans. And while we're at it, let's not forget that natural mutations could get in on the action too. You could end up with a brand new eye color like fuchsia, or develop cool new abilities like super sensitive hearing, super sharp vision, and basically anything you wish for. Gene editing challenges. Like everything else, the cons come along for a ride here too. First off comes the big ethical question: who gets to decide which genes are okay to edit, and for what purpose? And then, of course, there are a million unintended consequences tagging along. Just think about it. If gene editing becomes something only the rich can access, it could create a greater societal divide. That's the last thing humans would want in a world brimming with perks. And then, it's the natural variation that makes each of us unique, right? Tampering with our genes might rob us of that. This means we could very well have genetically edited embryos too. But we don't want our future generations to be stripped off their unique traits, do we? So, while this idea comes with a whole set of challenges, humans might still adopt it 1,000 years from now. And we never know. It might just be the right thing to do then. All this just goes to tell us that in the next 1,000 years, anything's possible. What we can't really predict, though, is the path humanity chooses. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. Tune in for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.